Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Dive.
We're the Morse Global Finance podcast team.
And I'm John.
I'm Tiffany.
And we're diving into the world of precious metals today.
Especially for anyone thinking about APMEX.
One of the big names you always hear about.
Yeah, one of the biggest in the game.
So Tiffany, are you ready to get shiny?
Let's dive in. We'll uncover everything about APX.
Like, where did they even come from?
What do they actually offer?
What are people saying about them?
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
And most importantly, should you consider using them?
That's what we're here to find out.
All right, so let's start with the basics.
Okay.
What is APMEX exactly?
Is it just some online store for gold coins?
That's what I kind of thought.
Well, APMEX, which stands for American Precious Metals Exchange,
Right.
is a leading online marketplace for buying, selling, and storing precious metals.
Like gold, I'm guessing.
Of course, gold,
Okay.
silver,
Uh-huh.
platinum, and palladium.
So it's not just gold.
No, it's more than that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about their history.
They've been around for a while, right?
Since like 1999 or so.
Yeah, since 1999.
Wow.
And they have a really interesting story.
Yeah.
It was founded by Scott Thomas,
Okay.
and it all started because of his grandfather.
What does his grandfather do?
He was a coin dealer.
Oh, wow.
And Scott Thomas actually got his start selling some of his grandfather's collection on eBay.
No way. Really?
Yeah.
On eBay?
eBay.
Wow. That's pretty humble beginnings.
Talk about humble beginnings.
That's awesome. From
Right.
eBay to a billion-dollar company.
It's pretty incredible.
I bet they have a ton of stuff now.
Oh, yeah. They have a massive selection.
Like what?
Well, we're talking over 10,000 products.
10,000.
10,000.
Okay.
From gold and silver bullion in, like, all forms to rare coins with, like, crazy historical significance.
Really?
And they even have collectibles
Oh, wow.
for people who like the unique side of precious metals.
So like novelty stuff.
Yeah.
That's really cool. All right. So let's say I want to buy something from APMEX.
Okay.
What's that like?
Is it easy?
Is it secure?
Are the prices actually good?
All the important stuff.
Yeah, well, APMEX offers like a few ways to buy. You can buy online, over the phone, or even in person at their retail store.
They have a retail store.
They do.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
And they really do try to keep their prices competitive, close to market rates.
That's true.
They also offer secure shipping.
So it's safe.
Yeah, but like any online marketplace, you got to be aware of those market fluctuations.
Yeah.
And there's always a tiny risk of counterfeit products.
All right.
But APMEX does have like really strict authentication processes.
So they're checking things out carefully.
Oh, yeah. They're very thorough.
That's reassuring. Okay, so what about fees?
Because everybody charges fees.
Yeah, everybody has fees these days.
Exactly.
What are we looking at with APMEX?
Well, it's always best to check their website for the most up-to-date info.
Okay.
But as of today, they do offer discounts for certain payment methods.
Oh, that's nice.
Like if you use a bank wire or a check,
Okay.
and if you choose to store your precious metals with them.
Well, hold on. You said store.
Yeah,
They can store your gold too.
they can.
I had no idea.
They partner with a super secure storage facility.
What's it called?
It's called Citadel Global Depository Services.
Citadel Global Depository Services.
Yeah, it's a pretty good option if you're worried about.
Keeping it all at home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially if you have a lot of it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I would be nervous about that.
I would too.
Okay, so let's get to the real question here.
All right, shoot.
Is APMEX actually trustworthy?
Are they legit?
Yeah.
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Definitely.
Well, they've got an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau.
Okay, that's a good sign.
It is a good sign.
Yeah.
But if you look at reviews on other platforms,
I'll go where?
like Trustpilot or Consumer Affairs,
Okay.
they're a bit mixed.
Really?
Yeah. You'll see some customers who absolutely rave about them,
Okay.
their selection,
Uh-huh.
but then others have had some not so great experiences.
Interesting. Mixed reviews are always tricky.
They are.
Because what are you supposed to believe, right?
Yeah. What do you trust?
So what are some specific things
Okay.
that people either loved or disliked about APMEX?
Well, on the plus side, people seem to really appreciate the huge selection they have,
Okay.
especially the variety of bullion and coins and collectibles.
Yeah.
Like, it really is a one-stop shop for precious metal enthusiasts.
That's cool.
Yeah. And they also get a lot of praise for their educational resources.
Yeah, really?
Which is super helpful for people who are new to precious metal investing.
So they're not just trying to take your money.
No. They actually want to help you understand the market.
Okay. That's actually really cool. I like that.
Yeah, it's a good approach.
So what about the downsides then?
What are people complaining about?
Yeah, what are the complaints?
Well, one thing that comes up a lot is that their prices can sometimes be a bit higher.
Higher than who?
Higher than other dealers out there.
Okay.
Which, could be because they have such a big inventory.
Right.
And it costs a lot to run such a massive operation.
Makes sense.
Another complaint is about shipping delays.
Oh, yeah. That's frustrating.
It is.
But I guess that can happen with any online retailer.
It definitely can.
It's the world we live in.
Exactly.
So what about customer service?
Have you heard anything about how responsive they are?
Or helpful?
Yeah. It seems like customer service experiences are a bit of a mixed bag.
A mixed bag, huh?
Yeah.
It's like what?
Some customers say they had amazing support,
Okay.
but then others report inconsistencies and not so great interactions.
Ah, so it's a bit of a gamble.
Yeah, can be. It's like that with a lot of big companies, unfortunately.
True enough. So it sounds like we've got the good, the bad, and the mixed when it comes to APMEX.
Definitely a mixed bag.
But before we get into the nitty-gritty of pricing and fees and storage options,
Okay.
let's take a step back
Okay.
and talk about the big picture.
All right.
Why would anyone even consider investing in precious metals in the first place?
What's the appeal?
What are we even doing here?
Yeah, good question. Well, a lot of people are asking that these days.
Yeah.
Precious metals, especially gold,
Okay.
have always been seen as a safe haven
A safe haven from what?
during times of economic uncertainty.
Oh, okay. So when things are a little shaky,
Exactly.
people turn to gold.
They do. You can think of it as a hedge against inflation.
A hedge against inflation.
Yeah.
So like when everything else gets more expensive,
Yeah,
gold kind of holds its value.
that's the idea. If you're worried about your money losing its buying power,
Okay.
precious metals can be a way to protect your wealth.
I see. So it's like a way to make sure your money is still worth something.
Exactly. It's a tangible store of value.
Tangible.
Yeah, you can actually hold it.
Right. It's not just numbers on a screen.
And it's less susceptible to market whims compared to like paper currency.
That makes sense. So it's kind of like an insurance policy for your savings.
You could think of it that way.
Okay.
Another reason people invest in precious metals is for diversification.
Diversification.
Oh,
So you're not putting all your eggs in one basket.
exactly. You don't want to rely solely on stocks or bonds.
And spread the risk.
Precisely. Adding precious metals to your portfolio
Okay.
can help balance out those ups and downs of other investments.
Right. Decent.
Plus, some people just like owning something tangible.
Yeah, I get that. It's like a real physical asset.
Exactly. Something you can hold in your hands.
It's different from just seeing numbers on a computer screen.
It is. But let's be real.
Okay.
There are downsides to investing in precious metals, too.
Oh, yeah. What are we talking about?
Well, one of the biggest risks is market volatility.
Market volatility. So like the prices can go up and down.
Yeah. And sometimes pretty dramatically.
Yikes.
It all depends on things like supply and demand. Global events, even investor sentiment.
So you need to be okay with a little bit of risk.
Absolutely. You have to be prepared for the possibility of losing money.
That's never fun.
It's not. And another risk, especially if you're buying from less reputable sources,
Oh, no.
is fraud or counterfeiting.
Oh, wow. So you could end up with a fake gold bar.
You could. That's why it's so important to do your research
Okay.
and buy from reputable dealers like APMEX.
Makes sense.
So stick with the trusted sources.
Exactly. They have strict authentication processes.
So they're checking things out carefully.
Oh, yeah. They're making sure you're getting the real deal.
That's good to know. What about storage?
Okay.
We talked about APMX's storage option,
Right.
but if you don't go that route, what are the risks of storing it yourself?
Storage is a big consideration.
Yeah.
If you choose to keep your precious metals at home,
Okay.
you need to be super careful about security.
Oh, yeah.
Theft damage, even just misplacing them.
You could lose it.
You could.
So you can't just like stick it under your mattress. Definitely not. You need a solid plan.
Like what?
Maybe a safe or a safety deposit box.
Okay.
But even then, you got to be aware of the limitations
Mm.
and the potential vulnerabilities.
So there's no foolproof solution.
It's all about managing risk.
Okay, so we've talked about some general risks of precious metal investing.
Right.
How does APMEX address these concerns?
Oh, as we mentioned before, they offer that secure storage option.
Through Citadel Global Depository Service.
Exactly. It takes the burden of security off your shoulders.
So you don't have to worry about it as much.
Exactly. You have peace of mind knowing your metals are safe.
That's definitely a plus.
Yeah.
And what about those price fluctuations?
Right, because that can be scary.
Yeah. Do they offer anything to help with that?
They do. APMX has a ton of educational materials,
Oh, really?
like market analysis and insights.
So they're trying to educate people.
Exactly. They want you to be informed
Okay,
and make educated decisions.
that's cool.
They also have a buyback policy.
A buyback policy. What's that?
It means you can sell your metals back to them
Okay.
if you need to liquidate your assets.
So they're trying to make it easier for people?
They are. They want to create a user-friendly experience.
Okay, that makes sense.
Uh,
But are they the only game in town?
oh, no, there are definitely other reputable dealers out there.
Oh, really? Like who?
Well, you've got JM Bullion. They're known for their competitive pricing.
Okay.
And Kitco is a great resource for market information.
So it's good to shop around.
Always. Compare before making any decisions.
That's good advice, Tiffany.
Yeah,
So we've learned a lot about APMEX,
we have. Their offerings, the pros and cons.
even the bigger picture of precious metal investing.
It's a fascinating world.
It is. But before we wrap up,
Okay.
I'm curious, what kind of due diligence would you recommend
Or
for someone seriously thinking about taking the plunge?
That's a great question, John. First things first, you got to clarify your goals.
My goals.
Yeah, why are you interested in precious metals? Is it for long-term wealth preservation, diversification, or something else?
So figure out your why.
Exactly. Once you know that you can start evaluating different dealers
Okay.
and their offerings.
Makes sense. So don't just jump in blindly.
No. Have a plan.
Love it.
Look at their fees, their storage options, their reputation.
Uh-huh.
Compare prices. Read reviews from other customers.
Okay.
Both the good and the bad, to get a sense of their track record.
So do your homework.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to ask questions.
Okay.
A reputable dealer should be transparent
Right.
and willing to address your concerns.
That's solid advice, Tiffany. Thanks for walking us through all this.
My pleasure. It's always fun to talk about precious metals.